Yana and Felicia, we're all here today. How you feeling? What do? Well, I had to wait. I had a couple of things I had to do earlier. That's why I'm coming on a little later. And had to get myself situated. Situated. And I asked Spirit, I said, okay, what are we talking about? Because I asked yesterday, right after everything, they said, we'll let you know. So last night, um, it was really coming in strong. Be down 10, I hope I say it right, 10:14. But be down, that young man, he is just something. I really like him. He is just a little researcher, and he just has such good info. And it's kind of interesting because he was right on track with what I've been feeling, what a lot of people are feeling, and everyone seems to be really zeroing in on standing in your truth, speaking your truth. And how when you show up and you speak your truth and some people don't like it, they don't want to have anything to do with you because they want someone that stays compliant with their way of thinking. They don't want to hear your truth come up to them. So then you feel bad when you speak your truth and then you don't want to talk your truth no more to any of them, so you just stay quiet. Then you get this. Well, what do you think? Are you asking me? Because if I'm going to give my voice on something and you know that you're doing something that's not for your highest good, you're asking me what my truth is on the situation at hand. Now, do you want me to just. One time, I just flat out came out and said it like this. I said, well, if I tell you the truth, you're going to just get mad at me. So do you want truth or do you want me to make up a lie? Which would you prefer? False or truth? And I get this. I want the truth. Okay, I told the truth, said it. Haven't heard back from the person. Person got all ticked off, triggered all up which way and beyond. And now it's like, I can't talk to her. She's just too much. Don't you hate that when they ask for your opinion, you give it, and then they get upset about it? That's what we're talking about today. And Bedell did a very good job with that last night. And he went into a lot of details. But, we come on here and we talk about our sacred purpose, and your sacred purpose has a lot to do with your truth. It has a lot to do with when you just finally snap and say, I'm done. I'm done. I can't do this no more. I don't want to come to a job that damn well knows they're doing me wrong, but yet and still they'll pretend like they don't want to get called out on it. But what happens, the universe does the calling out and brings it to their face. And all of the job places are going to be put on notice. If you're not for your people that come and be of service for you, you're going to start getting little ripple effects coming into the job settings. And there's no job off the table if it's not treating its people's right. Let's just put it that way. There needs to be balance. You go to a job, and I love this. I love this. So much truth is coming out on, I'm going to use this analogy instead. So much truth is coming out on nursing. Now, I gave 30 years as a licensed nurse, state of California. I did it all. ER, med surg was my forte. Pediatrics, I was too sensitive for pediatrics because it was the children, and I didn't like starting IVs on children. Geriatrics, all the different things. Hi, darling. Hi, darling. all the different things that I did in my nursing career. I enjoyed it, but it got to a point to where it didn't matter to them anymore. You know, I was just another person showing up for a position. And one of the things I really dislike in certain corporational jobs, they will nickel and dime their employees. And I asked the question, this is where you're standing in your truth and you're standing in it. And I asked a question. I said, okay, you called me in, you gave me an excellent review. You said I'm doing well, and I've had some call off because I've been sick off and on. That's before I found out I was having some sensitivity to certain things that I had to take to be in compliance to be an employee. Okay, this is way back before we got the 4 year of indoctrination into the implants of society. Okay, so this is way back then. You know, we had to always, as nurses, be in compliance. You got to go get this one. You got to go get that. You got to go get the testing under the skin. You got to go get this. You got to go get that. Kind of like in the military, how you constantly kind of have to take all these things, and these things have to be given to you so you can go and travel and do and blah, blah, blah. Okay, same with nurses and doctors. They got to go take all their stuff. But not everybody can take it. Not everybody can take on the regimen. And I had some serious reactions to some of them. And finally, a doctor literally had to say, you cannot take this. This is what's causing you to be not feeling well. And I was like, okay. So I listened to this doctor, and I didn't take it. And it was like, boom. But I watched everybody else around me. They weren't doing so hot because they were a part of the regimen, the curriculum, the job curriculum. There you go. They were a part of the job curriculum, and they weren't doing so hot. And I was like, wow, look at that. And then I remember when I went a whole year and I didn't have those reactions. I said, wow, look at that. I didn't do the curriculum of the job. And wow, I'm doing just fine. But others did the curriculum of the job and they're not doing so hot. And I was like, wow, that doctor was right on point with me. Not everybody can do the same thing. Everybody's body is different. Okay? Same as when you stand in your truth. Everyone has a viewpoint. Everyone has their own truth. How they view something, how they see it. Your truth is your truth. Okay? And that's great when you stand in your truth. But where we are seeing the magic of standing in truth, it raises your frequency up. And be down, thank you so much for being on this planet. I wrote him, told him, thank you so much for being on this planet. You know, I said, young man, because I can say that. I'm 58 years old. He's a youngin'. I'm like, look at this young man. Young man. Thank you so much for being on this planet. Thank you for your information. Thank you. So he puts that information out and he did a good job of his presentation. I love after he finished talking, after he gives his teachings, he comes back in the transmission. Bink. I was loving it. So one of the things, when we're standing in our truth, and I love how you talked about this because we're doing all of our work on sacred purpose. And by the way, how's everybody feeling if you participated in yesterday's medicine? How you feeling? I got some really good feedback. People loved it, and they said their body felt good. And please leave some more comments of how you felt after that. That was yesterday's medicine. where you call back the essence of your missing self. You call them back. And we have to do that because you have left pieces of yourself in other places, in situations, in relationships that are over, and wherever you left bits and pieces of yourself, you got to call those back. You have to. And one of the things I really learned about this calling back is when I was doing preparation for Sundance. And I remember the chief was telling us, our medicine chief was telling us, if you go across a bridge, go across any kind of water, when you reach where you need to be, call yourself back. Just say, I'm present. I call myself back after crossing that bridge or crossing over that water. Okay. And I said, why do we have to do that? He says, because water is the portal, is the conduit. And when you go across, because you're made up of water, there's little pieces, essences of you that's going to go, oh, look, water. And you're going to be trying to figure out why you're oohing and on at the water when you're going across it. But then later you're kind of feeling like a little spacey. You just have to call yourself back because you went over water. Call yourself back. He says the same thing when you fly. When you go over big, large oceans of water and you're flying, when you get to your destination, you need to bring yourself back, either in a shower or either just simply put your hands on your chest and say, I call my essence of myself back from where I just left and where I traveled through all these different timelines coming to this destination. A lot of people don't understand that concept. You're traveling through different timelines and you wonder why you have jet lag. Because there's many essence of you being stretched, going across. Hi, darling. Hi, darling. Okay? So you have to call yourself back. When you get to your destination, you have to call yourself back. Okay? So, I digress. Let's get back into standing in the truth. So you have to be able to just represent the truth. And when you're standing in your truth, you become like these beautiful crystals. You become these lights. Look at that. You become the crystals, crystal being. Okay? You become that light. You're emanating light. You're expanding in your crystals. Your Christ consciousness is expanding. The Christ consciousness is being at the light of the divine of self, being in that consciousness, and it's expanding of it. Okay? So every time when you step into truth and you speak your truth, you glow. I've got caught glowing. I've got caught eyes changing and blue things flying around me. Because when I'm teaching and I'm passionate about what I do, and you have that passion and that inspiration behind you and what you're doing, and then you're speaking in your truth, and then you're also those of us that like to be the channel of the information, which is what I do, I just bring it in. It's fine if I have some notes written down, but a lot of times I arrive like hot topic, I just have the divine topic and no notes written down. So I just show up. And those are the parts that really, when you're expanding in your light and you just show up, and when you stand in your truth, that means what you say from your point of view, how you feel, what that is, that's your truth. That's how you're representing that. That's what you're walking with. Now, as we speak truth, as more and more things are becoming revealed, are coming obvious, okay? They're coming obvious. There is so much truth coming out. Okay, we're not going to go into a lot of details because a lot of the truth that's coming up now is truth that's being presented right now for you to see on this timeline. But it has already occurred in the old timelines and it's just now being revealed. Okay? That's the truth of that. Okay? But back in the time there was many people speaking truth and nobody wanted to listen. Things would get shut down because you speak truth. And with being a healer, with being a way shower, with being someone that knows what your sacred purpose is and you're stepping into it, you have to be willing to stand in who you are. Period. You cannot just say, oh, yes, I'm doing this. And then as soon as someone wants to talk truth or hear truth from you, you shut it down. I call that you're trying to fit in. Okay? You shut it down. You don't want to rock the boat. You don't want to tick somebody off. You don't want to make somebody upset. Now, I get that. We do have a responsibility and accountability on the tone and vibration of how we deliver our truth. You don't have to go slapping people all in the face. This is how it is, and you don't like it, too bad. But sometimes you have to just be in your truth no matter what. And not everybody's going to be okay with it. We're talking family. We're talking even your significant other, your partner. We're talking your co-workers. We're talking even if you're still going to the churches. We're talking about the churches. We are even talking about even in spiritual community. Nothing's off the table when you're standing in your truth. All areas when you're standing in your truth gets that notification. And then, God forbid, if you got to say your truth on something to a friend and they don't like it. Because now they're pissed off at you because you spoke your truth. They get all upset because you spoke your truth. Okay? You spoke your truth. When we're in our higher frequency of ourselves and we're rising up to that and we're being in that, you cannot shy away from it. Because Mother beneath our feet is requiring you to represent 100% who you are. Okay? Mother's requiring you to do that. Do you think Mother is, oh, here it comes. What do? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Do you think Mother Earth covered herself up on purpose so that nobody would ever know truth about anything about her? She's just a big ball of dust and water and some rocks and plants here and there, and that's it. Or do you really believe and know that she's a living organism? She's a living being. Just like you. She connects to you in her truth of who she is. She says it of who she is. Think about that. She shows up every day in communion with the sun. She shows up every day with communion in the evening with the moon. She stands in her truth and she represents that. She represents that. So, When you look at your truth and you walk with that, you have to mean what you say. When you're doing your sacred purpose, I can walk up to all of you right now and say, hey, oh, thank you so much for your business card. What do you do? What do you do for a living? While you're thinking about that, I'm going to drink some water. What do you do? How many people stumble when they're asked that question because they know they're not at a regular 9 to 5. They know they run their own business. They have a healing program that they do. Whatever it is, they're writing a book. They're putting together new music. They're putting together a retreat. They're putting together whatever that is. And when you are asked, what do you do? How do you show up? How do you answer? How do you answer? And here is the gift. Are you ready? When someone asks you, what do you do? What do you do for a living? You should automatically take a breath, step into that sacred heart space, and represent it. You just step into it. You ain't late. You're right on time. Step into it. And you say, well, I have a modality that I do, blah, 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 blah. And this is what I specialize in. I have a web page that's put up. Here's my business card, if you like that. Or those little disc thingies, computerized thingies that they got out now. And this is what I do. Some of us still struggle because you know what your sacred purpose is, but you still struggle on how to express yourself, how to show up as you, how to be that. And let me tell you, it's all about your divine curriculum and your practice of it. And do you trust yourself? And do you believe in what you do? Do you believe in it? Because if you don't believe in you, then you don't believe in what your sacred purpose is. Ooh. Which means if we follow that, you have to be in a deserving and a worthy and self-love to do your sacred purpose. Did you just think that this was just going to be one of those, just we'll do a little bit of this and a little bit of that and we'll just show up? No, 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 honeys. Lovelies, come on. We're in the big cosmos times. This is the test. Can you trust yourself enough to stand in the truth of who you are and represent it? And not be afraid of it. Not worry about what anybody's going to say. And I'm going to show you, this is one of the biggest jumps, hurdles I had to get over. Because I knew I was done with nursing. Hats off to all the beautiful nurses out there that are still doing the best they can in a broke-ass system that keeps it down on purpose because they want to save $1. How's that going for corporations now? Well, I digress. Anyway, I got it. Just got it. Go there. You have to step into it and own it. And leaving and getting out of nursing, I kept doing this stupid little thing with myself. And we all do it. So don't act like you don't do it. You did it. You know you did it. Just like I did. You say, yes, I want to do my healing work. You go ahead and start getting yourself into it. You start leaning into it. You start going ahead and doing it. But you're still unclear because this over here gives you guaranteed money, gives you guaranteed income. This over here is like you're waiting for people to align with you so you can do your work, and you want to get paid well for what you do, and you don't want to be nickel and dime in your work, and you don't want to be doing your work free all the time. So this part over here becomes kind of like a struggle to step into because you're trying to take this structure of a third dimensional way of being indoctrinated into a belief center that gave you this in the first place that says, in order to be successful on planet Earth, you must first go to an education program that will take you from the time of kindergarten all the way up to your 12th grade. And then from there, you'll go to high school and do your high school time. And then from there, you have to go to college and put yourself through college and have debt. Some might be lucky to get a scholarship. Others will have debt because they'll believe that the system is going to support them to go do their studies because it's required to be here on this planet. A planet that requires you to pay to live. Because this is how it's been for over 5,500 and something years or more. Okay? So, as we're stepping into the nuance of ourselves, and our Christ consciousness is coming in and we're being recalibrated and we're stepping into the crystalliness of ourselves and we're awakening to the new enhancement of ourselves. Yes, yes. There's this part of you that says, this doesn't fit me anymore. This curriculum's not working. I'm not happy. I think it's really, really sad. And I say this with all due respect because I went through this myself personally. When you go into a job and you're doing it and you find yourself crying in the bedroom or crying in the closet area because you're stressed out and you're tired. You're trying to figure out how you're going to get through the night because you're short-staffed. You're the only one that's on. You're getting plowed with, got to do this, got to do that, get this done, get this in, get the pharmacy, da-da-da-da. All this stuff is going through your mind. And then when you finally have someone come and relieve you, you go home and you lay in your bed and you lay there and you go, God, I hope I did everything else because I hope I signed off all the orders. Oh, shit! I forgot about the IV on such and such. Hello, Christy, there's an IV order. I took it down, but I forgot to write it out. And it's the panic comes over you. Because what do they put in the mind of people who work in the medical field, especially doctors and nurses? CYA. Cover your ass. If it's not noted, it was never done. They constantly put that in your head. In other corporations and jobs where you work, they have a signature thing that they do to you. So yeah, you get programmed to stay where you know what you're dealing with and you're going to get money for that. Versus when you finally just step out and say, I'm done, and step into your sacred purpose. Now, stepping into the sacred purpose means you got to represent your truth. You cannot be afraid when people ask you what you do. I got a lot of shit for when I stepped out of nursing. My nursing friends were like, "You're doing what? Why? Oh, Felicia, you're wasting so much time. Why are you doing that? That sounds like some kind of hippie stuff you're doing." And I would just stand there and go, "No, I actually study this. I do body work, and then I go and put my hands on them and show them where they're holding tension, and then realign the spine just by going down it, and then reset them. And then I go, 'How you feel now?' And they go, 'Oh wow, I see why you're doing it. You're good.' Yeah, that's what I do. I want to be a solution to why you're having the problem that you're having. Let's prevent you from having it. Let's head it off. Besides me coming and giving you a pill and say, 'Here you go, let me check off, make sure you're not having any adverse effects from what I just gave you.' Then I go home and stress about that. Oh God, I hope they don't have any reactions from that. Guys. Yeah. Yeah. Standing in your truth and representing that is not always going to win everybody's heart. Because you got to remember, they're still in the 3D curriculum. They're still in the 3D belief. And that's where they are. And if they have their own curriculum, that a belief on themselves, and they're running it, and you speak your truth on it, they don't want to hear it. That sets up for them to want to attack you and argue with you and create scenarios that are not true. And then they're all pissed off at you because you said something. My grandma would always say, sometimes in the gift of gab, the gift of the truth, it's just the way it needs to be said, the truth. Because if you lie about it and try to cover it up, oh, aren't we finding out how that's turning out now? Oh, gee, what? 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 There's so much what going on this planet now. What the hell? What? Who did what? What? When? Where? Why? What? Oh, real? Not real. What? Fake? Oh, what? Image? What? We have to decipher and shuffle through what's true. So now you feel like you have to be like Wonder Woman with your truth lasso. You're going to whip your lasso out and tell me the truth. You can't resist the truth. You can handle telling me the truth. There's a whole bunch of lassoing going on around here. I like that. Lasso. Is that a word, you guys? Lasso? I don't. Just, whoops. Came out. But when you really think about it, we're in that Wonder Woman moment where we're whipping out that lasso. Who's telling truth? Does that feel like truth to me? So when someone asks you, what do you do for a living? And you're a healer or a wayshower or a coder or a light codes, and you work with animals, or you work tinkering around and creating new scents and waters and oils and bath oils, and you love doing things like that. You work on the houses, on how to make them healthy. You like sounds, and you drum, you do singing, and you like to use your voice, and you do artwork, and you do dancing, and all forms of yourself. It's the truth of who you are. And then when someone asks you, you stand in it and you represent it and you say it. And don't care about what their reaction is. Don't care about what they think. They asked you a question. You're simply giving them the answer. And if they stand there like a deer in headlights and look at you like they don't understand what you just said, they're not on your level. Don't take it personal. They're not on your level. They're not going to get you because you're too advanced. That's all there is to that. You are advanced. And that's where a lot of us in the next coming weeks, oh yeah, it's about to hit off in July. We're just getting prepared. July is a 7. What do you think that's about? Oh, it's about to get really delicious and what do in July. Because that's a 7 vibration. It's all about spirit. And it's going to be amplified like you would never believe. The amplification of it is going to be off the rockers. You're going to see things that are so crystal clear. You're going to be like, well, isn't that a situation going on now? Well. Thank goodness I'm on this dimension. I'm not over there. You get to have a chance to say, oh, I'm glad I'm over here and I'm not down here. Over there. Yeah, they're experiencing everything because that's what they signed up for with that curriculum. Because they didn't wake up and get out of it. They're not valuing their divine self. They're still waiting for someone to tell them everything. But here, I'm awake and I'm aligning myself with my divine self and I'm standing in my truth. I say it like it is. And as anyone comes at me trying to be threatening because I'm speaking truth, what gives you the right to think you should attack me for speaking my truth? And if you asked a question that I told you, shouldn't you be looking at yourself and why did you ask the question? And then when it comes off in that energy and it's being ricocheted at you, you just simply put your hands up, shield up. I don't consent to that energy. I don't consent to your disrespectfulness. You have to remember, you're a divine sovereign being. And the other person's a divine being too, but kind of forgets to plug into it. They're still plugged into some kind of makeshift artificial thing going on. And that's exactly what's happening. So you have all the ones that are speaking their truth, raising the frequency up, creating more brilliant light on the planet, becoming this. You're becoming this. And when you become this, you become amplified. You become the crystal that amplifies. So if you're standing in love, if you're standing in truth, and you're representing your sacred purpose, you become this. And that's the beauty of it. You become it. You walk it. You speak it. You breathe it. It's a part of you. It's not like you say, oh, only from, I'm only showing up in my truth from 12 to 3. And then after that, oh, hell is going to break loose at 4:15. No. You're that all the time. From the time you go to bed to the time you wake up, you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, hi, I'm present, I'm here. Those of you that are light workers, priestess and priests, and you're beautiful shaman beings of medicine. You're not a part-time shaman, are you? Oh, I'm only a shaman on Saturday and Sunday. Come and see me then. No! You're that because that's who you are and that's what you walk. It's a part of you. So, no one who is a part of Be So Light tribe here, you need not ever be afraid to be your divine light, because you were already approved when you signed up and you decided to come through your mother's womb to get here. Your destiny, your whole sacred purpose is already activated. You just have to align with it and stay there. And the whole game is, when you are born, is to get you off of that. I keep telling you to watch that movie Winter's Tale. It shows you exactly what the game is and how it goes. Your light is bright. Here comes the dark. Gonna knock it out, because they don't want you to succeed. And when you're standing in your light, you're standing in your truth. You're representing that. Yes. It is the game. How much can we throw at this one to get them to not fulfill it? Do you realize they have the movie Watchers coming out? I haven't decided yet if I want to watch that. I think it's on, is it on Netflix or Prime or one of those things? I'm not sure if I really want to watch it, because I know what Watchers look like. I remember the day when I saw a Watcher. And it's so funny because, remember, I asked you that question. How old do you really think you are? Because you've been in the game for quite some time. You're so good at it, you don't even need to keep score. But when you recognize something, you see something peculiar, or you see someone that looks like they don't fit in, they don't look human, they look like they got a human face, but they don't. No. What do? No, you don't fit in. Okay? And I remember, and I caught myself when I said it, and I go, how did I know that's a Watcher? What? So I'm in this bookstore, and I was working with this lady. That magical bookstore, because I was still a Catholic girl, and I was having some discrepancies in my tissues of my being there. But I was trying to learn and, just be there in the moment. And as I was slowly awakening into who I was, I remember, now Watcher, when they show up, things tend to kind of slow down a little bit, get kind of quiet, because there's an energy that they bring with them when they're watching you, when they're in your space, observing. They're not going to interfere with you. They're just watching you. They know who you are. And the whole game is you trying to remember who the hell you are. But they know who you are. They know why you came. They know what you're here for. How's that? Everybody else know who you are, why you're here, and the game is to throw you off track. So then the Watcher comes, and I'll never forget, he walks past this big glass window, and it was like time just stopped. And he was real tall. He had on an old duster jacket. And I'm like, what the hell is that? He's wearing real tall. And when he looked like this, looked at me, and everything just stopped. And I said, oh my God, that's a Watcher. And then he tilted his head, smiled, winked, and then walked on. Now, the way I know it was a Watcher is because my butt comes running up from behind. I'm like, I want to know who he is. Run up to the door. It wasn't even 4 or 5 seconds. Gone. I'm like, where the hell did he go? So I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe he went to the cafe. The cafe's right there. I walk up, nowhere to be found. Disappeared. That's how you know you had a watcher watching you. Because they come into your space and snap out. All right? So it's really important to just know that, yes, a winter's tale. T-A-L-E. Tale. So you have to represent. They know why you're here. You have to stand in your truth, because the whole game is, what are they going to throw at you to throw you off? To derail you, to distract you. Oh, let's get you in a relationship. You're looking to be loved. You don't love yourself enough. You want someone to validate you through them loving you. Let's get you in a relationship. That'll throw you off about, how can we do 5 years maybe? Oh, how about 10? How about 20? And then somewhere along the line you realize, wait a minute, things are different. This is not love. Or how about this? Let's really distract you. Let's throw something in the mix. You care a lot about people. Let's throw somebody in you got to go and just care and do things with. Take your distraction off of what you came here to do. So you will not fulfill your destiny. We'll delay you about 6, 7 years, maybe 10. That's enough time to throw you off. Making sense? Do you see the game? When you're standing in your truth and you stand in your light, you amplify that. You push that stuff out. The distractions. And you say, not mine to do. You stop getting in situations with drama, trauma, issues with other people, and you say, that's your lesson, that's your experience. If you want my opinion on that, you can come and call me, sit down, we can talk about it. But you have to ask me that. I'm not putting my energy into that. I'm not doing that. That's the name of the game now. They already know why you're here. You are just remembering why you're here, but they know what you're here to do. And if they can come up with all kind of distractions, even addictions, they're going to throw you off of what you're here to do. And addictions are the most easiest things to get people into, because it becomes your distraction, and then from your distraction, it becomes your personal destruction. And if you can self-destruct and being in that addiction, just destruct, break yourself down, they've won. Another one has lost their divine light. They don't represent any truth, because in order to represent the truth of their light, they have to realize what they're doing to themselves is not of highest self-love. They're not connected. Easy hijacks. That's the name of the game now. That's what this is. So when you sit back and you're trying to figure out what your whole plan of life is and your sacred purpose, you already know why you're here. Because they sure to hell do, and you're a threat. Because if you really figure out and you claim it, and you step into it and you own it, game over for them. Game over. Bravo to you, because you chose to keep your light and stand in your truth. And you didn't settle to fit in. You didn't settle. You didn't settle. All right. So that is the teaching of today, to pay attention to where are you standing in your truth and to represent that no matter what. Not everybody's going to agree with you. Not everybody's going to like what you're doing. What? Who cares? Do it anyway. It's yours. Because they're going out doing whatever the hell they want. They don't care about what you think. Don't you just love that? It becomes an issue when you're doing your thing. But, oh, you can go do what you want. No. What do, no. .com, no. So, I want all of you to sit with that. We're going to close out with, please make sure you get your Lemurians out. They are hyper activated now. Please get them out. This was my very first one I got. Just a baby. And this was a gift from one of my priestesses from Mexico. Brazil. Yeah. So your Lemurians are going to be helping you in your coding. Okay, your coding in your light. And a lot of them have the ancient ones just waiting for you to line up with it, waiting for you to press certain points to work with it through the third eye and then feel it. And then to go down on the sides of the files and activate them just by sitting and being with it. It's all about that Lemurian coding coming online now. So get them out. Okay, we're going to close with the message, and then I'm going to relax for the rest of the day. If you would like to have a spiral light session, please go to my webpage, galacticspirallight.com, and book a session before I go up on my prices. When you book an hour session, that is for 4 to 5 days. That covers it. When you book a 90-minute session, that covers your 9 days. But sometimes medicine can last a little longer, depending on what you're working on. Oh my goodness. I'm loving this. The message from the light was awesome. And then our last one here. Ooh, I like that. Okay. So the first one is Soul Song. What is your soul singing to you? Here's the thing. A lot of people that are going to be used, notice how I'm saying it, you're going to be used to be attacking light people. You're going to be used. It is your job to find the love within yourself to not be used for a lower vibration like that. To not be so angry and disconnected from your own divine source. So, what is your soul singing to you? What is it saying? So for those of us that are carrying our light, just know anyone that does come in your space that's attacking like that, They simply have just forgotten who they are. They're not connected to their love, their divine source. Remember that. And you can simply just say, well, I see that you have forgotten who you are. May you find yourself. That's just an extra if you want to help them align. But then again, you can just simply say, I see you have forgotten yourself, but I choose not to align with this energy. I don't consent to it. You have a good day. Because it's all about the water, and it's the overflow, and water represents what? The emotions. And yes, it is going to be heightened. It is going to be very, very heightened next month. This is just the what we're seeing right now. And then we're moving into, I love this card, number 31, Return to the Mother Tree, the 10 of the light codes. Return to the Mother Tree. And this one I will read, and we will close out our session with this, because everything is coded. This is beautiful. Return to the Mother Tree, the 10 of light codes, the anchoring of the light. That's you, lovely. That's you. You have arrived at a completion point. It's time to recharge and reflect. Are you carrying unnecessary burdens? Discern what gold and what lead and what can be released with love. I love that. Discern what's gold and what is lead and what can be released with love. So that is your connection in your teachings. If you are not drinking water from the blue glass or glass containers, please make sure you're drinking out of glass now. Your plastic containers or your stainless steel is great, but you need that. Try not to be drinking so much out of plastic, because as everything goes up, what did I teach you? How does a microwave work? It cooks from the inside out, right? All right. There you go. So if you have plastic containers and you're drinking that water, and especially if you left it in the car and it's warm and you drink from it, you are getting plastic. And that's not good. It's not good for you. Okay? So everyone, please be aware, stay hydrated. Get your body. I like going, this is a blue glass company, and they have all kind of designs. I have this one. I have the real big one, the gallon one, which has the water codes on it. I have this one. So I like drinking out of my water ones. I got one in the car that's just like this. It has the Flower Life on it. Coated water. All right, lovelies. It's been my pleasure to spend this time with you. Please reach out to your Lemurian crystals and sit with that. If you're having a stressed out day, take your medicine bath, smudge yourself. But don't get what do I do? Crazy in the drama world. Stay out of there. Let them do their own show. You can just be the editor. Don't be in it. Stay sacred within you. Stay true to you. And remember why you're here. For your sacred purpose. Your sacred purpose cannot exist without you. It can't. You're the only one who can do it. And you need to watch that movie, A Winter's Tale, Tale, so that you can really understand how that movie sends a very clear message of what is going on right now. All right. All right, lovelies. You are divinely aligned. You are divinely awake. You are divinely free to be you. You're divinely seen. You're divinely heard. And you're divinely loved. Be so light. Like and subscribe. Be true to your light. Tomorrow, we're going to get into that spine. And we're going to go that beautiful garnet code time. We're going to work on that spine. All right? And get those codes moving. So everyone be good to yourself. Thank you so much for the love. I want you to love yourself because that's how we're going to change everything. That's how we're going to keep accelerating. Is staying true to your light, stay in your light, and love yourself. Okay? Much love to all of you. I'll see you tomorrow. Go have some good, relaxing time now. Go love yourself. Go love your cats. Go love your dogs. Go love being with your divine ones. Go test them out. Go ask them questions and tell them, I need an answer in 12 hours. Let them do some divine curriculum work with you. All right, lovelies. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.